So before I get into the labor dynamics here, first, I guess, take us through what the reopening efforts have looked like, what from a state to state and city to city basis, what that means in terms of capacity and whether, perhaps most importantly, customers and patrons are actually coming back.
They are coming back. Recent sales are actually more than triple what they were at this time year ago when we were experiencing the initial COVID impacts and had 100% of our dining rooms closed across the country. But remarkably, they're almost back to 2 years ago, which is surprising given that we're still using only half the tables in most of our restaurants and that we're still spending less than half as much on marketing, and yet we're within 5% of sales we had 2 years ago.
So you are hiring. We had the CEO of Domino's on CNBC on earlier this week, and he characterized this labor market as tight. How do you see it?
I would certainly agree it's a tight market, but we actually have added 10,000 employees in the last 15 weeks, and plan to continue adding about 3,000 a month more going forward as we are allowed to eventually use all of our dining rooms again. But certainly it is a tight hiring market. It varies tremendously regionally, but we are having success attracting new employees.
Kim, those who are watching wage growth and are worried that it's going to spiral out of control seem to believe that it's going to remain in check because small businesses especially don't believe they can pass forward the additional cost to the consumer, and they'll turn to things like technology. Do you think that narrative is essentially right? First of all, we think it's important that we treat our employees well. A typical Red Lobster server is already making over $20 an hour, including tips. But it is true that consumers are very value sensitive right now, and it is very difficult to pass through cost increases. We actually think consumers are coming out of this caring a lot more about value and convenience than they were before the pandemic. And I think every business is going to have to do a really excellent job on both of those things. In our case, for example, we've introduced a number of new menu items recently that are affordable but terrific, like our bacon Wagyu burger, our new crispy cod sandwich, which is absolutely enormous. We're nicknaming it Codzilla. A number of new bowls and things like that are our sesame soy salmon bowl, our Baja bowl. They're affordable,
too, right?
Delicious, and we think convenience is becoming super important. We've invested in Rapid Red curbside pickup, where you can order and pay before you get to the restaurant. You show up when we say. You just respond to our text with the words "here," and you can literally be in and out of the restaurant in less time than it takes to go through a McDonald's drive-through.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.